G'day, g'day. And how you going? Don't make that noise. That was a request.
No, not from me. From old mate over there,
Mel, Stacey and Monty here with you. Mel's like, you know how you start every podcast with singing? Maybe you could start today with g'day, g'day.
Who was that? Was it John Williamson?
You'd be the only one that would know.
Yeah, I know.
How funny. G'day, g'day. Yeah, was it
we
an
could
ad?
actually carry a tune. We could do some like cool podcast beginnings, you know?
Oh, imagine I could sing.
Mate, Stacey can sing. I know it. Yes,
You're
she
never going to
can.
hear me sing, mate.
You're not great.
I reckon she'd be really good. I reckon get her in the car.
She wouldn't get a record deal,
With
put
the-
it that way.
No.
But
I wouldn't get on The Voice.
You reckon?
No, I wouldn't. No.
Imagine she sounds grousy. You know,
It
you
is
always
one of my biggest regrets, though.
not doing singing.
Yeah, but I can't bear to be in front of a crowd. The thought of being like even my wedding day and
just
stuff,
you.
I'm like, I can't be the person people are looking at here.
Oh, I'm
but
more
I regret it
comfortable
so
in
much.
front
Like, I
of a
just wanted to be
crowd.
a wedding singer. I just want to be a wedding singer.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Like I just want it low, you know, like
high
not
aspirations.
no, but I mean like just as an extra thing.
Yeah, right.
I regret not doing it when I was a kid. Wow. Massively. It's my one thing.
Yeah, because I remember when we started to become friends, you said that you used to do a bit of
I
singing.
did a
or
few
something?
singing things and Mum was like, "Oh, they said you're pretty good. Do you want to keep going?" I was mortified. Mortified.
Why?
I didn't want people to talk about me.
Can one night
Oh.
when we're together, because we're planning to go away for a weekend soon, and my good friend Abby and I used to do this where we would lay in the single bed next to each other, lights off, make yourself extremely vulnerable, and you sing the best you can. You can't do more than about 30 seconds.
I can't do
But
that.
then as soon as you start to do your voice goes or anything like that, you're like, no, that's not you. You're not trying. You can really tell when somebody's
you
really
can.
trying.
Yeah, I know.
You really can.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'll tell you
Totally.
something really funny. I've spoken before about how I used to do singing lessons when I was a kid,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Anyway, this was back, I was 11 or 12 and it was all on piano, right? So you'd pick a song, the teacher would do it on piano and you would sing along. But a lot of the time she would sing it and record it on tape and her voice was phenomenal. I played it to my friends and told them it was me.
Did you? Oh, that's brilliant.
They're like, oh my God, it doesn't sound like you. You're so good. I'm
And
like,
what,
wow.
did you pull the old I'm too embarrassed
No,
to
I
do
know.
it for you?
I couldn't possibly. And I literally couldn't possibly.
That's fantastic. How about the shit you used to say when you were a kid? Just to be cool, just make up shit.
One of my friends used to, she said, always wanted a pool, never had a pool at her house. And she invited over a friend one day from school. She was just wanted this friend to come over and she's like, do you want to come over and have a swim in my pool? Anyway, the little girl gets to the front door with her mum and then her mum opens the door and she's like, oh, here's Chloe's swimming gear. And she's like, we're not going swimming. She's like, yeah, but they're not going to go in the pool. And the mum's like, we don't have a pool.
Oh, shit. That's how you got wrapped up in it.
Oh,
Gone too
seriously. Yeah.
Shit.
But when you do just, yeah.
I know. It's funny those memories.
Yeah.
Like when you know you're bullshitting and you're going to get caught
You got to
out.
keep going, though, once it
I
comes
know.
out.
Yeah, when are some other things that I was listening to the Matt and Alex podcast, which is
Oh, yeah.
bloody brilliant, hilarious. And Matt told a very funny story about how when he went to school and it was after school holidays and the teacher's like, what did you get up to? And he's like, oh, my parents went skinny dipping
Oh, yeah,
over
that
the
one.
holidays. And the teacher's like, oh.
You told this on the last podcast.
Did she?
No, I definitely didn't.
I've
I
heard
told
the
you.
story. I think she maybe told us.
I just told you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll continue then, hey?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So anyway, then I'm telling it like for everyone's benefit, but you've already heard it, so now it feels weird. I didn't think I'd told you, Mel, but I have.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to continue. Matt goes back to school and the teacher's like, what'd you do? Parents went skinny dipping. We went away. And he gets home from school that night and his mum's like, Matt, did you tell the teacher that we went skinny dipping? I'm going to just cut this because I I've already missed out a part of the story.
Please don't cut it. Please don't cut it. That is so shit.
Should I keep going then?
How many people are going like 15 seconds forward, 15 seconds
I'm so embarrassed.
Nah.
That's staying in.
You're not
Okay,
really very
it'll
good
stay.
at telling
But
stories.
listen,
This is fucking
He
terrible.
just learned. Yeah, and it's not going to get any better now. And he told it so funny. Anyway, he just learnt what skinny dipping was. All right? I'm going to continue. Matt had just learnt what skinny dipping was. So he just said to the teacher, my parents went skinny dipping that night. His mum's like, why did you tell the teacher we went skinny dipping? He's like, and his mum's like, do you know what skinny dipping is? And he goes, yeah, it's swimming. And his mum's like, well, it's not swimming naked. And Matt's like, oh, I didn't know. And then his mum walked away. He's like, I totally knew what it was. I just wanted to say it.
Oh my God. Do you know what's really funny? You know, when you're
Bury
trying to tell a
your
story.
head.
Yeah. And I knew it was going to
It was very funny at the time. And then the person's looking at you and you're not getting the reaction.
It's not like we're going to fake it. Oh, shit. Start
right.
again. Back to the start.
All
Welcome to
G'day. Hey, let's 6 minutes in, but we're going to start with how we normally start with word of the week.
Yeah, what
this
was-
is going to come to an end soon because we're running out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're
Where we-
actually just a bit shit at it, aren't we?
We are. Well, I mean, it's kind of a nostalgic thing where we go, what words did we used to use that we want to bring back? And we've done some good ones,
Yeah.
but we're running low. But this week's one, stop bagging me.
Stop.
Bagging
me.
Bagging. It's just bagging me.
I said that a lot.
Yeah.
I did
That was
too.
common.
I still say bagging.
Do you?
Of course you still say all of these.
You actually do a bit.
Cunt was the only one. God. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, no, don't say. What
don't
else
say
have we done?
scrag.
Scrag. I definitely don't say cooter.
Cater.
Remember when you'd be in high school and it'd be like, they keep bagging me.
Yeah.
On a side note, how awful is being bagged?
Oh.
You just be like, oh God, it would be school was so exhausting just to keep up with the bullshit, wasn't it? Like,
I know.
oh, bagging me.
I know, yeah.
Someone
my
was
son
always
said-
getting bagged.
Oh, always.
There was
Kids are
never
mean.
not somebody getting bagged. You were either getting bagged or you saw someone getting bagged.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son just asked me yesterday what lame means.
Ah.
It must be coming back. Because
Do you
he's like,
think-
what does lame mean?
Do you
Is that
know
like
why?
a bad word? I'm like, shit, what does lame actually mean? I was like, it just means someone's a bit boring and
I'll tell you why
like
that's
you can
coming
say
back.
I feel lame, like I don't know, embarrassed or I'm like, oh fuck, I don't even.
I think lame's not boring. I think it's like crap.
yeah, but I
feel-
didn't really want to. I was like, you can say like, oh, that was lame. Like, oh, I did something that was lame, but you don't tell someone they're lame.
But I think lame is so American.
It is very American.
See, I would never use,
Lame is,
have
yeah.
used that. But I reckon our kids watching all these YouTube videos,
Yes, that's
they
probably what it
come up
is.
with all these. My son said something the other day, like, I can't even remember what he said. He said something like, we're going to go get candy or something like that. And I'm like, okay, hang on a minute. We don't call it candy.
Yeah.
My nieces were
watching too
talking in
much
an
YouTube.
American accent for a bit period there. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, sometimes Bax can put on quite a good American accent, but all the shows that they watch and those ridiculous YouTube clips are all
I know.
Americans.
How funny when you used to try and talk in a different language, but you couldn't. And you'd be like, and you know what I used to try to? I hope this is politically correct, or might not be, but I used to try and pretend I could do sign language
Oh, same.
and just like pretend to sign.
or constantly. Yeah.
I'd love to have learned that.
I did
Yeah.
in college. Do you think I can remember anything? Not one thing is in my brain from that. Did a whole semester.
I love you.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that is completely learnt. Like one semester's not going to teach
No,
you.
I
Nah.
agree.
I think it's a
not a
year,
language.
like years and years and years of practice. Big day in your house.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, little Layla, if you remember from a few episodes back, the one, my little dog whose asshole fell out, she's got her period.
On heat is actually what you say, I think.
It
Is
is
it?
true,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not period. On heat.
Well, there's blood coming out of her vagina.
I just think that's so fucked up.
and it's all like it looks quite swollen.
Does
Her
it just come
vagina.
out? Does it just run out?
Well, no, because like our dog I grew up with, remember Sparky?
Oh, that you blamed that your human shit in the backyard on Sparky.
It was a boy. Never had a female dog.
Of course.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And I knew that they'd said around 6 months it happens, but she's 8 months. And the other day I went outside and on the deck I saw just a drop of blood.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, God. I had a look. Mate, I'm just like wiping her. We have to go and buy her dog nappies.
Is that what they do?
They're like nappies
I
they put on.
I don't know why. I don't have a dog, and I've never had a dog. And I didn't. I knew that obviously on heat was like. I just thought it was when people go, oh, she's on heat, meaning about the dog. I thought it was just like Randy. I didn't realize it was period.
No. And Mark and the kids walk her every night.
Yeah.
And Mark's friend had said to him, you can't take her walking. He said dogs will jump over fences to get to her because they can smell it.
It's procreation time.
I know. And Mark had said to me too, goes, isn't it funny that a dog's time to get pregnant is when they have their period?
So it
But
is.
for us, it's, that's what it is. I guess they let off all the pheromones. And then you know what I started thinking? I go to him, do you think like a dog's first time would hurt?
Yeah. Do they have like
Is there any pain? Do they have a hymen? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is it painful for a dog? I don't know, but she loves being wiped.
Oh,
I don't know because hang on. No, I don't mean it like sexually. No, but she's not bleeding like we would. It's just drips.
Drips, yeah.
But when I see it, I get a baby wipe, unscented, and wipe her. She just sits there and she loves like the top of her tail. It's like she gets
But
into
she
this
might be
zone.
more sensitive though with it too.
I don't know. But she just sits there and like she's got her head down. She's concentrating when you do it like she loves it.
Oh.
And I'm like,
I feel awkward.
And so you got to get her nappies. Like, how many periods
Doesn't
is
it
she
last
gonna
for a
have?
month or something?
well, I read between 2 and 4 weeks, depends on the dog, but
Yeah.
they get it for once every 6 months.
Yeah.
Apparently.
We have always had female dogs, and I remember it like the drops of blood
Oh my
on the concrete.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And then obviously as soon as that happens,
It's
my
very,
parents got them spayed.
yeah, it's very intense. And we let her in the other night and there was a drop of blood on the floorboards and Mark goes, oh, gross, get a disinfectant wipe. It's her period blood. And I said, I looked at the kids and I looked at him and I go, it's actually not gross. Period blood is not gross. I'm like trying to make this a teachable moment.
Yes.
And he's looking at me and he rolls his eyes. He's like, it's gross. Whatever.
Oh, look, any blood, like it's a bit icky feeling, any kind of
I
blood,
mean, yeah,
let alone out of your vagina.
a dog's blood, a dog's saliva to me is disgusting.
No, see, that grosses me out more than the blood.
What?
I don't care about the blood. It's when she eats, because she's a bulldog and she's all wrinkly at the bottom, she gets like bits of saliva and I'm like, that grosses me out. Bit of blood.
I can't believe you're
give a
wiping
shit
your
about.
dog's bleeding pussy at the
Well, what do you
moment.
want me to do? Leave it to get all crusted up?
No, I don't know what the solution is. I'm just like never getting a fucking dog.
Well, I think you should.
Never.
I think
Never.
the boys would love it.
Ruff's right up my asshole about it too, pardon the pun. But he is like, can I get a dog when I'm 12? And I said, you've got more hope of getting a phone than a dog, mate. Oh. Because I am.
Oh, no, see,
getting a
I'll
dog.
surrender to getting the boys a dog.
I've got a dog, a 3-year-old. I don't need another one.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a lot of work to have a dog, as we've spoken about before, but my kids are so desperate for
Same.
it. So desperate
And
for
they
it.
do love it.
They're not going to look
They do
after it.
love it.
I'm going to end up looking after it.
Yeah.
I've got enough kids.
My kids fight over who's going to pick up her poo.
Oh,
It's probably still,
wow.
please, can I please do the poo picking up? Can I? Because we bought like one of those pooper scooper things. Can I do it? I'm like, go for your life. Dom goes out and feeds her every day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're good like that.
That's great.
Yeah. Sort of teaches them a bit of responsibility, I think.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that they've got this? It absolutely does. But do you reckon like Dom likes it because she like there's something sick about looking at poo? You know when something grosses you
Yeah.
out so much you can't look away? Like,
Nah, I reckon they were really up my ass about having a third kid.
and it's
And
like
I
a
reckon
baby.
that's taken over. It's like, oh, she's your little sister. And then, they've taken that role.
Yeah, that's good.
Cute.
Yeah.
Do you have anything though that grosses you out so much you can't stop looking? You know when you like I was listening to Dax Shepard's podcast,
yeah.
which is so
His
brilliant. There's-
voice there's something about his voice. It's like a broadcaster's voice almost.
Yeah,
You
he's
know that
brilliant.
sound. that
Yeah.
You're like, this is nice.
It's called Armchair Expert and it's so great. And they speak to a woman about happiness and it is I've shared it with you
I
guys.
still haven't listened to it.
Stacey listened to it and loved it too. But they just speak about random things too. And Dax was saying once when he was younger, he was in like a paddock or something, and he said there was the biggest pile of horse shit there.
Yes.
And he said it grossed him out to the point that he wanted to vomit, but he could
couldn't
not
look
stop
away.
looking.
Yeah.
He said it was like 15 minutes of just walking away, going back and having another look at this pile of shit. And I'm like, I get it when something's so
It was like,
fucked
wasn't
up.
an overarching chat about people putting themselves in uncomfortable positions on purpose?
Yes.
Like you get like something out of feeling that
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when, you know, there's a car accident or something and you're like, I'm not going to look, and then you just like, I'm looking. You find
Yes,
yourself looking.
totally.
Like,
I'm like that with
not.
roadkill.
yeah.
If there's a dead, I think, oh God, I'm not going to look. And my eyes just go there. And I try not to. And then I'm like, oh my God, I just saw its intestines or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what kills me? I will never forget. Oh, when something's open and you can see its insides, doesn't bother me as much as once I drove past. This is never out of my head. I saw a dead cat on the side of the road, but it was stiff and its four legs were up like that. That has never gotten out of my head.
No.
I think about it constantly. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
every time
traumatic.
someone says the word cat,
Oh, that's what you see.
I see that white fluffy
God.
that's stiff as a board.
What is that? What's that's a bad news life because that's really sad. But when is it rigor mortis?
Yeah.
Rigor mortis, where your body stiffens.
Yeah. Gross.
It is.
Heavy. So because so many restaurants have closed down, this is in the news a fair bit at the moment, and I think especially in Sydney it's happening, because like the food scraps of restaurants are not in the bins and everything. Rats are starting to get so starving, they're moving towards like people's houses, like
Yeah.
they're gravitating to where food is, and also like just eating the bejesus out of their offspring.
Oh, that makes me so uncomfortable to think about.
Yeah.
Like that would even be hard for them, surely.
Well, it's not, obviously.
No, but I mean, like, is there any emotional
I
attachment
don't
to
reckon
that?
there's emotional attachment. I reckon they're just will to survive overrides everything, and they must push the baby out and they go, hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah. Isn't it phenomenal,
Fucking hell.
though, that
Oh my
anything
God.
can have a baby and have no attachment to it? Hands down, a heap of things would. Like,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But, yeah, just there's something about a rat. But I was saying, Yumi and I were talking about this, and I was like, I can't help but picture, like, the rats as ratatouille. Like when I think of all the rats, they're leaving their restaurant alleys and they're going to the houses. I'm like, it's in full cartoon
yes.
view in my head.
Oh my God.
Like vision is
Ratatouille.
cartoon, yeah.
I used to think that with ants. Like if I would see ants going into a little tunnel or whatever, I could see that, and underneath they've got their own town and they're,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and then if you step on one, it's like, oh, careful that when they start screaming, oh, there's a giant, everybody move.
Yeah, like
you
Honey, I
know.
Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
We just watched it.
Still good?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I mean, it's obviously not as real as you remember it, but it's like
I
the
loved
bees
it.
and flies swooping. I mean, it's hard. It's so good.
I read something about they're doing another one.
Really?
Rick Moranis, who went, you know, the guy who played the dad. He was in Ghostbusters
I
as
thought
well.
it was Martin Short who played the dad. No.
No. He was one of the Three Amigos. Remember the Three Amigos? That movie?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Anyway, apparently they're doing a new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Brilliant.
Now.
It would still be good.
Yeah, I reckon it would.
it's
I
not
mean,
a-
imagine how
yeah.
good it would be now.
Yeah, I know. Be awesome.
Imagine what this, like, you know what makes me feel, still gives me that, is like when you would go to, say, Movie World and you do the movie set tour.
Yeah.
Or even, Stace, I think when we went to
Universal. What did we
Universal
do?
Studios and we saw the Home Improvement set.
Oh yeah, God, I forgot about that.
And I just was like, there's this unbelievable still excitement about it.
Energy there.
Imagine like the set of Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. Like how awesome would that be?
Yeah.
Or the other day I was watching The Addams Family. I was like, imagine the set of The Addams Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something about that. I feel a bit cheated.
What,
Like
seeing the real
when
thing?
you see, like, say it pans out and then you see it's just like three walls
Yeah.
and they've got the set and then it's just concrete and
Yeah.
boom mics and shit and I'm like, oh no.
They showed a picture of normal people, like they were talking about sex scenes and how the sex scenes are laid out and stuff. And they had a photograph of the room when they were filming it, and there's just fucking people everywhere, cameras on every angle while they're just laying in bed naked. Like,
Look,
I'm like,
I don't know.
So it changes your because you're just so dumb when you're watching shows that you don't even compute that there's a camera filming it.
Yeah. Oh, totally. You get so swept into it. That's how I tell my boys when they're scared, though. I'm like, because my stepdad's a movie editor and a commercial editor and stuff. And so I'd say, remember when you've been to Granddad's work and Granddad's working on you know, I'm like, you got to think that's all makeup. There's all cameras around. There's a million people. Like,
do you know what was so great? When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Michael Jackson's Thriller film clip.
oh yeah.
But it scared me
too.
like I can't tell you how scared I was by it. But we had a cassette that was called The Making of Thriller. So it was the film clip, and then after that it was full going into the makeup, how they made him into the werewolf, all that stuff. And I would always have to watch it directly after to put my mind at ease and think, oh, okay, so it showed them taking the plaster cast of his head and all that sort of stuff. It's actually really interesting if you can find it. It's so good.
That's freaky. It totally freaked Raph out. My brother did it for fun because he
the
knew he
film-
would, and Raph was you've never seen a kid more scared.
So your brother put on the film clip?
Yep.
Oh, my boys are obsessed with it.
That's
Well, it
still
was a few years
scary.
ago, but he wouldn't watch it again now if it came up.
Yeah.
You know the worst bit? Oh, God, for me, that bit, not even the werewolf bit. You know when he's like pretending that he's like, she's there and she's like, Michael, are you all right? And he looks up and goes, go away, with those yellow eyes.
That's the
Oh,
part.
God, that's the bit that kills me. Oh, and the teeth.
Still?
Yes, still. You know, things that scare well, according to Monty, I'll just leave that story there.
We're
Don't
in my
feel
front room.
anything.
Hold on, guys. Look at this. We're in my front room and there's somebody has stopped because you can't see out. And she was just picking her nose.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Now she's moved on, had a little pick, taken
It's
off
all
her
right,
jacket.
sister. Everybody does it.
Old mate in the middle here does it a lot.
Oh, I do it
Monty
a lot.
Mond.
When I get stressed, I pick hardcore. And I can
I
see
don't get what you're picking though. Like you have to have a considerable amount of boogers in your nose to pick as much as you do. So is it like the more you pick, the more you get?
maybe it is.
Because I would never have anything to pick.
Maybe it's a supply and demand thing like breastfeeding. Maybe the more
Maybe.
you pick, the more space is made for more to come. I don't know.
I don't know.
How
'cause you
bad
always
is it?
have it.
How bad is it when you can feel one up there and then you go and you end up pushing it up and you're like, no, it's too high, I can't get it.
God forbid you to blow your nose.
I know. Nah. Not when they're hard. Gotta pick 'em out.
Baxter, my 8-year-old, got his adenoids out last week. And so he wasn't allowed to blow his nose for like 24 hours. But then it's just to clear it all out, he started to really blow his nose. So much so he's got an infection under his nose from the tissues. But he came like when I wasn't with him, he blew his nose and he's like, Mum, I blew my nose and it just completely unblocked. And he said, and I just sat and talked to him about this snot for about 20 minutes. I'm like, explain it to me. And then he was getting cross. I'm like, was there a crust on one side? Like I was wanting to really visualize what form of fantasticness flew out of his nose. And he said, now I'm not blowing my nose as much to wait for it to come out
Build
again.
up.
But it would have been from the operation a build up of something in there, and then he blew it and it came out and just a chunk of awesomeness.
Isn't that funny when, you know, we were just talking about things you can't look away from?
Yeah.
Who doesn't look at their snot?
Who doesn't?
When you blow your nose, it's like you blow it and then you open it to inspect what's in the tissue.
Yeah.
I'm like that with poo too. I know that's
course.
disgusting. If I forget to look at my poo before I've wiped and then it covers with the toilet paper,
Yeah.
I feel so cheated.
Yeah, I always look at mine.
Always. I want to see it. And
I
you
don't
know,
look at it
sometimes-
before I wipe though. Don't you have to stand up to do that?
No, I just
Just stand up to wipe.
No. But I mean like
No, she's saying
to
don't
see
you have
my
to-
poo, I'd have to
Oh
stand
no,
up
I spread
before
my legs and
wipe.
look through the bowl.
just have always, or I look like that, like
That's
behind
what
me.
I do. Interesting.
I feel so cheated if I've put that paper and it's covered it. I'm like, oh, you know, sometimes that felt bigger than it was.
Yeah.
Or, wow, look how impressive that one is.
Oh, hands down.
Yep. Oh, can I tell one more
Yeah.
disgusting story? Have I told you the story of Ebony and Ivory?
Oh,
Before?
yes, you have.
Have I?
Of your husband's shit. You can tell it again just in case someone's missed out on this beauty.
Oh, well, don't worry about it.
Might be as good as Monty's story from
did
the
I
start.
just tell you?
Nah,
I did.
it was a
no.
while
I
ago.
think. Are you sure I didn't just tell you guys?
I don't know, but tell it again because it's amazing.
Okay. So my husband did a poo and he's calling everybody into the toilet to have a look at it. And there's no way I would, right? Anyway, later that night he comes up to me and he's like, so I took a picture of my poo and I'm like, I don't want to see it. And he goes, no, you've got to see it. This is ebony and ivory. He goes, you've never seen anything like it. It was 2 turds side by side. One was like white and the other was brown.
Are you sure it was white?
You know what? If I would absolutely get him to forward it to me to show you. It was white, not white like liquid paper white, but like beige, and the other one was brown, side by side, like that Stevie Wonder song, Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I told you about when I did the poo once. Sorry, this is so nasty. So many people have left. And fair call, and they won't be back.
No, you haven't. You know what we're all about. You love this stuff.
When I was at my cousin's and I did a poo and there was all purple Hubba Bubba through it. It was like a rainbow
She'd
poo.
swallow too many.
Yeah. And I just quickly called in my sister and my cousin and we were just fascinated.
I've never seen gum come out.
No, I never had
You
either.
must have had an awful lot of Hubba Bubba.
No, but you know what? I had swallowed it like 10 minutes earlier. So it had obviously somehow just gone right through the system.
Wow.
Yeah, and was curled up. Oh, it was fantastic.
How awful is it
Bright
when you swallow a chewy, that feeling? Oh. It's the worst.
Yeah, I used to do it as a kid all the time, swallow chewy. All the time.
In school you weren't allowed them. So you just
Yeah.
before you got caught.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get out of here. That is us for the day. We'll be back, Mel and I, on Monday for Blast from the pre-corona past, and we're going to tackle urban myths.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Urban legends.
Urban legends, yeah.
Great job, guys.
You might even listen.
Maybe. Maybe.
Thanks for all your messages as per usual. You know the drill. Hit us up on our socials, on our website, at stacey@show+tell.com.au. Thank you very much. We love, I also love when you send through messages, and somebody the other day sent through saying how much they're loving listening. They were having a really rough trot with their kids. Did you see that on Instagram?
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah. And it gives her a little bit of a break.
It gives her a little bit of a break. And
she's got one. You know how lonely that first one feels, that one baby, and you're on your own all day, especially in Corona. Far out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's
I just remember walking the streets and everyone used to think my first didn't sleep. I'm like, he's a great sleeper. I'm just so fucking bored that I have to fill my day just pushing the pram.
Yeah. So we read them all, and thank you. All right. Toodaloo, kangaroo.
Bye.
Toot, toot.